Good Friday morning. This is the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing. This is Basil Numerzitsky. Looking at some of our significant fire impacts for the next few days. No significant impacts for large fires. However, it will be getting hotter and drier this weekend. Actually expecting record heat. We're seeing humidity levels in the afternoon dropping down into the single digits in many areas. We should see accelerated curing of light fuels and grasses. And on top of that, some lightning is possible late Saturday across Nevada, spreading a bit further eastwards into parts of Utah and Idaho by Sunday. Look at satellite imagery. An upper-level map superimposed shows that strong ridge of high pressure with all that heat and dryness building across the area. Some midland high-level clouds now exiting the area, as you can see here on the satellite imagery. Looking at the past 24 hours, precipitation on the left, we have basically little to none across the area. Also basically no significant lightning. If we look at the observed precipitation a bit further in the past, over the past 7 days on the left, just some light amounts through here. The first shade of blue is basically a trace to less than a quarter of an inch. You can see many southern areas have been missing out on that over the past week. And on the right-hand side, over the past 2 weeks, even though we've had significant amounts of precipitation across parts of northern Nevada, Utah, and well up into parts of western Wyoming and Idaho, it's the southern third of our geographic area that we're most concerned about. They've been dry for over 2 weeks already. And looking at ERC conditions, still mostly in the green as ERCs are mostly below the 50th percentile. Starting to see some transition to the 50th to 69th percent in some of our southern areas. However, keep in mind some of the lighter flasher fuels and the grasses may not be as well represented by ERC. They are drying out quite rapidly across the southern third of Nevada and parts of northwest Arizona and far southern Utah. I'll look at today's significant fire potential. Despite being mostly in the green across about 3/4 of our area, we are starting to dry out across the southern tier regions, critically dry in other areas just to our south. And if we look at weather conditions at both high temperature and relative humidity, on the left you can see that across our southern areas, temperatures expected near 107 in southern Nevada, upper 90s across parts of southern Utah. On the right-hand side, more importantly, you see that afternoon humidity in the single digits to near 10% across a good portion of the southern half of our area. Up to the north, humidity levels still quite a bit higher, so the drying will be much slower in areas further to the north. Looking at weather conditions on Saturday, on the left you see that high pressure ridge building, a dry air mass given by these tannish shades of colors across our region. And again on the right hand side, fire potential despite being moist in many areas, starting to dry out, actually getting borderline critically dry in our finer fuels, far southern Nevada and parts of the Arizona Strip. If we look at conditions again, 109 expected as a high temperature down near Vegas, so again upper 90s to mid 100s across many southern areas, although there's a pretty sharp demarcation, significantly cooler across parts of our Wyoming and central Idaho. And again, you see the humidity levels in the afternoon, single digits 5 to 10% across the southern third of our area where fuels are on the edge. If we look at wind speeds, both Friday afternoon on the left and Saturday afternoon, at least the wind speeds will be fairly light and variable, and that's normal as we're under high pressure, so even though we'll be drying out our finer fuels, any ignitions that develop should probably not have much wind behind them. On Sunday, the upper level map on the left, we're missing some humidity level data, but you can see still under a ridge of high pressure. We stay dry. Our fire potential is critically dry in our far southern areas of Nevada into the Arizona Strip. If we look at weather conditions, both temperature and relative humidity, on the left still we have that hot weather in our southern areas, still bone dry across many parts of Nevada and Utah with single digit to low teen humidity, and even humidity levels getting down towards 10% across parts of southern Idaho as well. Precipitation during this 3-day period, as we go from Friday on through Sunday night, mostly dry. Some of this light activity you see through here will be the result of some isolated thunderstorms on the back side of that ridge that could push through either late Saturday night or sometime during the day on Sunday. So we'll have to watch that potential for some lightning following up on several days of very hot, dry weather. Taking a look a bit further down the road into Monday, we still see the ridge of high pressure starting to weaken a little bit on the left. Our fire potential dryness level still quite dry across many areas, even expanding a bit further north into the moderately dry category. So we look down the road into Tuesday. We notice this ridge starting to break down and shift eastwards in response to a weak but strengthening low pressure system dropping down out of the Gulf of Alaska. Our fire potential on the right, you notice some areas remaining in the green with some isolated showers and thunderstorms still critically dry across our southern areas. So we go into Wednesday, we see low pressure now moving onshore across the Pacific Northwest. We will see an increase in southwest winds across parts of western and northwestern Nevada. However, there'll be some cooler temperatures, higher humidity, maybe some isolated showers or wet thunderstorms, so fire potential does take a nosedive towards the middle of next week, and continuing that trend for Thursday with low pressure deepening across the region. So a return back to cooler conditions, higher humidity. On the right hand side, you see our fire potential responds to that as well. Total precipitation over the 7-day period, its entirety, staying bone dry across the southern half of the geographic area, but some isolated showers and wet thunderstorms could produce locally a 1/4 inch or locally more up into the mountains of central Idaho. And the extended CPC outlook for days 8 to 14, basically our week 2 outlook. Temperatures remaining above normal, but again, that trend will be towards somewhat cooler temperatures late in the period. On the right-hand side, precipitation showing a wetter than normal signal across the northern half of our area, remaining dry to the south. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day.